My dear students, I'm back with yet another video for you, and this time the video is for the students of Punjab History and Culture Semester 3. And the topic that we will be covering is Guru Angad Dev Ji, the second Guru of the Sikh, 1599 to 1552 AD. So, what are we going to do in this video? I will be talking about the early life of Guru Angad Dev Ji and his contribution towards the development of the Sikh Panth. But it is very important for you to understand and, in fact, learn, I would say, that the time period of Guru, that is from 1539 to 1552 AD. Right? So let's talk about Guruji. Now, the original name of Guru Angad Dev Ji was Bhai Lehna. If I could just have my pointer. Yes, right. Now, the original name of Guru Angad Dev Ji was Bhai Lehna. He was born on 31st of March 1504 in a village named as Matta Di Sarai, which is in Firozpur district and which is about 14 kilometers away from Shri Muksar Sahib. Right, so very easily his original name was Bhai Lehna, born on the 31st of March 1504 at Matta Di Sarai. Now, something about his parents. His father's name was Ferumal. He was an ordinary trader, Trehan Khatri by caste. His mother's name was Sabrai Devi. She was a very religious minded lady, and this also impacted the mind of Guru Angad Dev Ji. नाउ अबाउट हिज चाइल्डहुड कहते हैं कि भाई लहना के बर्थ के बाद उनके पेरेंट्स जो हैं दे लेफ्ट मत्ता दी सराय एंड दे केम टू खदूर साहिब. सो अगर मैं उनके बचपन की बात करूं तो हिज चाइल्डहुड वॉज स्पेंट एट हरिके एंड खडूर साहिब. ही वॉज द डिवोटी ऑफ माता दुर्गा. He was married to Bibi Khivi, daughter of Devi Chand. He was blessed with two sons, Datu and Dasu, and two daughters, Bibi Amro and Bibi Anokhi. Now, it is very strange that it just comes to my mind that you must have these questions. You must be thinking that if Guru Angad Dev Ji was a devotee of Mata Durga, how come he met Guru Nanak Dev Ji and became his disciple? So, let's learn more about this. Now, Bhai Lehna as the disciple of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. मैंने आपको पहले कहा था बच्चे कि गुरु अंगद देव जी माता दुर्गा के पुजारी थे, तो वो हर साल जो है ज्वालमुखी जाया करते थे. इट इज़ सेड दैट एक बार भाई जोधा जी जो कि गुरु नानक देव जी के डिवोटी थे, उनके मुख से आसा दी वार सुनी और शायद वो इतने ज़्यादा प्रभावित हो गए. ही स्टार्टेड आस्किंग कि किसकी बानी है, एंड बीइंग इम्प्रेस्ड उनको लगा कि उन्होंने गुरु नानक देव जी को करतारपुर मिलने चले गए और गुरु नानक देव जी के पर्सनालिटी और बानी से इतने प्रभावित हुए कि ही बिकेम द डिसाइपल ऑफ गुरु नानक देव जी. सो कई दफ़ा हमारे मन में आता है कि आसा दी वार जो है शायद इसमें क्या लिखा होगा या किसके बारे में होगी. बेसिकली बच्चे, आसा इज़ अ म्यूजिकल मेजर एंड वार इज़ अ heroic measure. Now, Asa di Var is to be recited before dawn, and it lays emphasis on the oneness of God, importance of the repetition of name, and complete surrender of oneself to God's will. Coming up next, all right. Now, assumption of the Guruship. How did Guru Angad Dev Ji becomes the Guru? How did he become the Guru? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji named him as Angad from Bhai Lehna, Angad the part of his body. Finally, on the 7th September 1539, he was appointed as the successor to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. यहाँ पर बच्चे एक बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बात जो है सोचने वाली यह है कि गुरु नानक देव जी के अपने दो बेटे थे, बाबा श्री चंद और बाबा लक्ष्मी चंद, और दोनों में से उन्होंने किसी को भी गुरु बनने का जो है योग्य नहीं सोचा. उनको लगा कि शायद गुरु बनने के जो सारे गुण हैं वो गुरु अंगद देव जी भाई लहना गुरु अंगद देव जी में है. सो फाइनली ऑन द 7th September 1539 he was appointed as the successor to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, or the second Guru of the Sikh. Right now, Dr. Hariram Gupta, कुछ ऐसे हिस्टोरियंस के नाम है बच्चे, खुशवंत सिंह, डॉक्टर फौजा सिंह, डॉक्टर गंडा सिंह. ये कुछ ऐसे हिस्टोरियंस हैं जिनकी बुक्स ऑन द सिख हिस्ट्री आर जस्ट द पीसेस ऑफ मार्वल. राइट, सो डॉक्टर हरिराम गुप्ता एंड स्कॉलर ऑन द सिख हिस्ट्री वो लिखते हैं, अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ गुरु अंगद देव जी वॉज अ स्टेप ऑफ फार रीचिंग सिग्निफिकेंस. But I have something really interesting to tell you. In fact, in your own book, which has been prescribed by Guru Nanak Dev University, and that's a book written by Raghunath Rai and Sukhdev Sharma. So I just came across that कुछ ऐसी stories भी लिखी गई हैं on भाई लहना's obedience and devotion, जिसको शायद गुरु नानक देव जी ने इसको जो है ये सोचा था कि शायद भाई लहना ही अगले गुरु बनने के काबिल है. तो कहते हैं, once on the guru's bidding, Lehna carried a load of wet and dripping grass full of mud from the guru's field to his home. तो यहाँ पर जब भी हम इन स्टोरीज की बात करते हैं, सो यू विल सी हाउ हम्बल भाई लहना वॉज, कि जैसा भी काम है, छोटा है बड़ा है, ही वुड नेवर हेजिटेट टू डू इट फॉर हिज गुरु. At another time, it is said that it was raining and it was a very very cold winter night, and Guru के house की जो wall का एक part है that fell down, and when everybody else, even the sons of Guru, refused, Lehna got up and repaired it. Guru was not satisfied, and for the satisfaction of the Guru, Lehna demolished the wall and built it 7 times. So Lehna was so humble. So you can just kind of see from these examples that how humble Bhai Lehna ji was, right? So whenever we talk about the institution of guruship, I have to say that the system of appointment of the next successor saved this infant religion. It actually served as a unifying factor for the Sikh. Now, Gokul Chand Naring, another important historian, वो लिखते हैं, had Nanak died without a successor, there would have been no Sikhism, at best simply another Kabirism. Right? So that means they are trying to talk about the importance of the contribution of Guru Angad Dev Ji towards the development of the Sikh Panth. Guru Angad Dev Ji, now we will be talking about his contribution towards the development of Sikh Panth. Right. Although I've tried to make my slides quite attractive so as to kind of help you to grasp the points very easily. So number one, देखो कौन सी contributions है. Number one is popularization of Gurumukhi. Number 2, collection of hymns. Number 3, expansion of Langar system. Number 4, organization of Sangat. Number 5, denunciation of Udasi sect. Number 6, discipline in Sikhism. Number 7, physical training. Number 8, foundation of Gondval Sahib. So let's move on to this contribution and we'll take up one by one all the points. So number 1 is the popularization of the Gurumukhi language. Again, while I was just looking through these historical books, especially by Khushwant Singh and Hari Ram Gupta, I came across various points. See, what Hariram Gupta writes, that according to Mahima Prakash, Gurumukhi script was invented by Guru Angad Dev Ji at the suggestion of Guru Nanak during his time alone. Because इससे पहले जो है Punjabi language was written in Landa or Mahajani script, and this had no vowel sounds, which had to be imagined or constructed by the reader in order to decipher the writing. So Guruji ने क्या किया, उन्होंने गुरमुखी को सौंधा, उसको improve किया, उसको polish किया, and the word Gurumukhi means from the mouth of the Guru. So now all the hymns began to be written in Gurumukhi. Now, what was the impact that it have? The most important impact, it gave common people a language that was simple to learn and write. Now, you must understand, at this time, Sanskrit was the language which was not that easy, and it was actually the monopoly of the Brahmins at that time. So, Gurumukhi gave common people a language that was simple to learn and write. Then number 2, it was instrumental in the spread of education among the Sikh. Number 3, it gave a blow to the supremacy of Brahmins who recognize Sanskrit as the only religious language. Now, popularization of Gurumukhi went a long way in making Sikhism a popular religion. Now, it is maybe the popularization of Gurumukhi that it created consciousness among the devotees of the Nanak that they were something distinct. Right? Number two, we'll talk about the collection of hymns. कहते हैं कि गुरु समन भाई बाला जो है, he was also a devotee of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So he had collected the hymns of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and Guru Angad Dev Ji ने खुद से अपने भी 62 शब्द या श्लोक्स he also added. So hymns की collection का क्या importance था? The importance was, number one, it preserved the original hymns of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Then the Sikhs started recitation of Gurmani instead of the Vedic hymns, and Guru Angad Dev Ji laid the foundation of Adi Granth Sahib. Now, sometimes students do get confused that was Adi Granth Sahib written. See, I want to tell you one thing, that Adi Granth Sahib was compiled. It consists of the hymns of the first 5 gurus, various bhagats, which again I'll be talking in detail. But this was a book which was compiled by Guru Arjan Dev Ji, which we will be talking when we will be studying about Guru Arjan Dev Ji. सो यहाँ पर कलेक्शन ऑफ हिम्स अगर मैं आपकी लैंग्वेज में करूँ तो मैं कहूँगी उसका एक PDF बना दिया था कि ताकि कोई उनकी हिम्स को एडिट ना कर सके, उनमें ऐड ना कर सके. सो दिस कलेक्शन ऑफ हिम्स वाज अ वे टू प्रिजर्व द ओरिजिनल हिम्स ऑफ गुरु नानक देव जी. नंबर 3, एक्सपेंशन ऑफ लंगर सिस्टम. देखो, लंगर सिस्टम की शुरुआत जो है गुरु नानक देव जी ने पंगत से की थी. द वर्ड पंगत मेंट के लाइन में बैठकर इकट्ठे खाना खाना. Right? So this, during the time of Guru Angad Dev Ji, langar system was expanded, और गुरु ने लंगर सिस्टम का काम जो है he gave it to his own wife Bibi Khivi. Bibi Khivi served food to the members of the community and visitors, and her devotion finds mention in Guru Granth Sahib also. People ate food without any consideration of caste, creed and gender. इस लंगर के एक्सपेंसेस कहाँ से किए जाते थे? Its expenses were met out of the offerings of the Guru's disciple, although rice boiled in milk was served to the visitors, and this has also been corroborated by Hari Ram Gupta that Guru himself lived on coarse food earned by him by twisting the manjis. Right? Now, what was the importance of this expansion of langar system? If I may talk about, see, one, this institution strengthened the feeling of cooperation and fraternity, brotherhood among the Sikh. It gave a shattering blow to the caste system. Habit of charity developed among the Sikh went a long way in making Sikhism popular. So this langar system strengthened the feeling of cooperation and a feeling of brotherhood among the Sikh. It gave a shattering blow to the caste system and also gave them the habit of charity. Charity means donating something extra that you have. So it went a long way in making Sikhism popular. And if I talk about the contemporary world, then I think Golden Temple is one example where about 1 lakh people come every day to partake the langar. Now, the organization of Sangat, again, the word Sangat, which means when people sit together. Now, Sangat, the concept of Sangat has also been given by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, but Guru Angad Dev Ji carried on with the full fervor as started by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Now, although the concept was started by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, but it was carried by Guru Angad Dev Ji. Now, everyone, irrespective of your gender, your caste, creed, they will all sit together. And this Sangat would be there every morning and evening to listen to the hymns of Guru Angad Dev Ji. Guru here told his followers to lead a high moral life, to recite name, and to be true to their duties towards their families. Now is the denunciation of the Udasi sect. Now, Udasi sect क्या था और हम डिनांसिएशन की बात क्यों कर रहे हैं? देखो, उदासी सेक्ट जो है उसको शुरू करने वाले गुरु नानक देव जी के अपने एल्डर सन थे बाबा श्री चंद. राइट? अब उदासी सेक्ट और सिखिज़म में काफ़ी सारी सिमिलैरिटीज़ थी, पर एक मेजर डिफरेंस ये था कि जहाँ गुरु नानक देव जी ने गृहस्थी की बात करी है, गृहस्थ जीवन में रहकर भगवान को पाने की बात की है, वहाँ उदासी सेक्ट जो है वो ये नहीं मानते. दे फील दैट यू शुड लीव योर फैमिली, रिजाइड इन फॉरेस्ट एंड देन यू कैन अटेन गॉड. सो यहाँ पर ये बड़ी मुश्किल का एक चैलेंजिंग टाइम था जब गुरु नानक देव जी के अपने बेटे उदासी सेठ की बात कर रहे हैं और गुरु नानक देव जी के द्वारा चुने हुए गुरु अंगद देव जी इस बात का खंडन कर रहे हैं क्योंकि सिख धर्म में गृहस्थी की बात की गई है. सो दैट मीन्स इट हैड बिकम क्वाइट अ बिग चैलेंज टू द टीचिंग्स ऑफ गुरु नानक देव जी. यहाँ पर गुरु अंगद देव जी ने ही प्लेड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. ही मेड इट very clear. This is like really important. He said Sikhism was essentially the religion of householder and no true Sikh could be an Udasi. So in this way, Guru Angad Dev Ji played a very important role in preserving the purity and originality of the Sikh religion. Gokul Chand Naring, another Sikh historian, he says the work was started by Guru Angad Dev Ji in 1546. And okay, this is he talks about Gondval Sahib, but of course the denunciation of the Udasi sect is one thing. Bete, I would say that अगर मुझे गुरु अंगद देव जी की one of the most important contribution लगती है शायद वो ये है, because यहाँ पर बहुत important था कि जो एक principle गुरु नानक देव जी ने शुरू किया है उसको आप किस तरीके से जो है you are able to carry it on. Right. Then is discipline in Sikhism. So Guru Angad Dev Ji was a great disciplinarian. Guru Angad Dev Ji के टाइम पर Sikh followers जो हैं they had started increasing. So उन्हीं के संगत में दो रागी थे, सत्ता और बलवंत. Satta and Balwant, I'll just mark them. Right? So they sang hymns in the darbar of Guru Angad Dev Ji and उनको लगा कि because they sing very sweetly और इसी के वजह से जो है संगत इतनी बढ़ रही है. So थोड़ा सा उनमें arrogance आ गए. They began to violate the instructions of the Guru. They even kind of what exactly word I would use. They also tried to misbehave with the people who came in the Sangat. So Guru जो है उनको इस बात का बहुत गुस्सा था and he dismissed them both, and after when they realized their mistake, Guru pardoned them. Now this is very important again because this measure tended to save the infant church from future indiscipline. Right? Then is physical training. Now this is, I think Guru Angad Dev Ji laid the foundation of the martial spirit which further blossomed into Khalsa. So Guruji was of the view that it is essential to recite the name of God to clean our soul, and similarly it is important to exercise for the fitness of the body. So he held the view that sound body resides in a healthy body. इसी view को रखते हुए he built a wrestling ground at Khadur Sahib, and this way, as I told you, he laid the foundation of the martial spirit which in turn blossomed into Khalsa. So इसमें ना बच्चे कई सारे questions जो हैं आपके पंजाब civil services में भी आते हैं, जैसे wrestling ground was built at Khadur Sahib. In one of the multiple choice questions they can ask you such questions on the history of Punjab, right? And the most important one is the foundation of the Gondval Sahib. So Guru Angad Dev Ji laid the foundation of Gondval Sahib, and ये जो town है that was built around 1546. And later on, one of his followers, Amar Das, took responsibility for this project, and this town served as the first pilgrimage of the Sikh. Now, what was the impact of this? The new pilgrimage gave a distinct identity to the Sikh, and again it went a long way in popularizing Sikhism. Now, this is again an interesting thing, but before I move on to this, why don't I revise with you the contributions that we have done? So, number one, popularization of the Gurumukhi script. Right? Number two, collection of the hymns. Number three, expansion of the Langar system. Number four, organization of the Sangat. Then is number five, denunciation of the Udasi sect. Number six, discipline in the Sikhism. Number seven, physical training. Number eight, foundation of the Gondval Sahib. Now the next one is again very interesting, and मैं थोड़ा सा आपको यहाँ ये कहूँगी कि हालांकि गुरु अर्जन देव जी को जब हम पढ़ेंगे तो हम ये पढ़ेंगे कि ही वॉज द फर्स्ट मार्टर अमंग द सिख गुरुज। लेकिन इससे पहले अगर हम गुरु और मुगल एम्परर्स की बात करें, सो दे शेयर्ड अ वेरी कॉर्डियल रिलेशनशिप। कहते हैं कि जब बाबर ने इमानाबाद पे अटैक किया था तो उन्होंने कहा था कि अगर मुझे पता होता कि गुरु नानक जैसे सेंट यहाँ पर है तो शायद मैं कभी भी अटैक नहीं करता। तो यहाँ पर गुरु अंगद देव जी को हुमायूं भी मिलने आए थे, उनकी ब्लेसिंग्स लेने आए थे जब वो शेर शाह सूरी से जो है हार गए थे। सो जस्ट now there are two stories, you know. One of the story mentions that when Humayun came to meet Guru Angad Dev Ji, he was teaching some students. The other theory says that he was in deep meditation. So they say that when Humayun reached Guru's house, Guru Angad Dev Ji was busy teaching students. उन्होंने उनको notice नहीं किया, so he became very angry. उन्होंने अपनी sword निकाल दी और उनके तरफ जो है ये जो है he was about to kind of kill the Guru. In the meanwhile, Guru had just finished his prayers and he was ready to listen. Seeing what the king was about to do, he smiled and said, "You are brave enough to draw your sword to kill or frighten the peace-loving people. Why did you not use it in the battlefield from where you came running like a coward? Your sword did not work in battlefield, but now suddenly you seem to have become a brave fighter." So Humayun ये बात सुनकर बहुत ashamed feel हुए. He begged Guru's pardon. So I have this picture where I found that when Guru is teaching the students, as I told you, bache, there is another story that he was in deep meditation, right? So Humayun said that your blessings alone can make me the king. Now this is a very important thing because that means the Mughal emperors and the Sikh gurus had a very cordial relationship. Humayun को नहीं लगा कि गुरु अंगद देव जी कोई kingdom या कुछ अपनी community ऐसे बना रहे हैं. For him he was like a saint and he needed the blessings of Guru. And Guru said, "My blessings have no magic. To be a king means to be kind, just, and helpful to people. If you promise to do that, then you will be king by God's grace. Be patient and always remember God who grants all the wishes." So Humayun hurried away to Persia and he wanted to act upon the advice of Guru. And after a few years, as we know the history, he gathered his soldiers, he received the help from the king of Persia, he came back to India, and Humayun won the battle and he became the king of Delhi once again, right? So this is what we will be talking about his contribution, but a little note on the nomination of the next successor. Now we know that Guru Angad Dev Ji had two sons, Datu and Dasu, and two daughters, Bibi Anokhi and Bibi Amro. But Guru Angad Dev Ji, just like Guru Nanak Dev Ji, chose his disciple. Just like Guru Nanak Dev Ji chose Guru Angad Dev Ji, his disciple, Guru Angad Dev Ji, keeping aside his sons, he actually chose his disciple Guru Amar Das Ji as the next Guru. He placed one coconut, 5 paisa before Amar Das and bowed his head. Thus, Guru Amar Das Ji was nominated as the third Guru of the Sikh. Guru Angad Dev Ji immersed with the immortal on 29th March 1552. So here ends my lecture on Guru Angad Dev Ji, where we have talked about his early life, how he became the disciple of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, how he became the next Guru, and what was his contribution towards the development of Sikh Panth. Right? So this is all what I have for you. If you have any queries, do leave your questions, your suggestions in the comment box. Right? So I will be back again with yet another video, and that will be on Guru Amar Das. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe, and have a really, really positive day.